Good morning, Cardine. It's RJ back with another video. Let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day. I actually have 6 cards here from a product from 2001, Upper Deck. It's a separate release called the Decade of the 70s. Obviously, they're celebrating some of the great teams of the 1970s. These two cards right here are part of the base set. This is what the base cards look like for most of them. And they had a rookie flashback numbered part of the base set towards the end there. They had several insert sets, as card companies do, various auto and various memorabilia inserts or pieces, cards as well. These are the ones I have from Mr. Schmidt. Very 70s era right here. This one's called the Bell Bottom Bashers. Even the text is a little, very 70s-ish. Another one here, the Decade Dynasties. It's not exactly 70s-ish, but as I during those, because there were a lot of teams. If you look back at the 70s, you had the Big Red Machine, you had the Yankees winning 2, you had the Phillies winning the National League East all the time, you had the Dodgers winning the National League often, the Reds, the A's. In the early years, you had the Orioles, doing it. There were several dynastic teams back in the 70s. So here's a very 70s-ish card called Disco Era Dandies. Very 70s looking thing. And then lastly, 70s superpowers. So those are the cards that I have from that Upper Deck release, the 2001 release titled Decade of the 70s. It's a completely separate offering, sold in its own little packages. So there you have it. Today's random baseball item of the day. Going to have to do this remotely here. I'm going to put it down and try. Oop, I lost myself there. I'm going to pull the phone out, try to get this one done properly. I have to excuse the motion here. I'm going to make a mess. I'm trying not to make too much of a mess, but I already put these in the binder. So what I got recently is I collect everything set related, and this is the 1984 Super cards. They were the exact same as the regular cards, just much larger. So they were called Super. I recently picked up the 85 set. This is the start of the 85 set. This is something I just picked up recently. This one had, I think, 60 cards in its set. Or was it 30? I think this one had 60, because the 84 one only had 30 cards, but the 85 one had 60, and I already had the 86 version. The 86 version, I think, also went to 60. And, yeah, so the 86 version also went to 60. They were exactly the same as the smaller cards, just at a size of 5x7. And they only did it these 3 years, so I now have a complete run of the Topps Super cards. The 84, the 85, and the 86. All in this little binder. Kept a wrapper I got from one of the cards of the, I think it's the 86, 84 one. And I just threw in this box topper from Gallery one year, just Goldschmidt one, because it's a big card. So, and it's my random baseball item of the day. The Topps Super cards from 84 through 86. Apologize for the cheap quality of this. I don't like to stop and edit videos, so I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to make you wiggle a little bit as I organize my stuff here. So, all right. Today's trivia question I have here. This card is a cool prize. It is the Roberto Clemente card from this year's Topps Heritage. It's the 1973 design, was Topps Heritage this year, so I think Topps smartly did this. They put in a copy of Clemente's final card, because that came out in 73, and they put his career stats on there. So that's a very cool card. So the question, again, we're dealing with pennant races now. Those years where the pennant race heated up in a big dramatic fashion. Since we're in the middle, we're about to start the pennant race time of the baseball season. People are always talking about, shoot, I remember the Phillies back in June were talking about, well, we're in the second wild card now, so we're doing pretty good. And I was just rolling my eyes, but that's all they're talking about now. We've got a stranglehold on the third wild card, so whatever. Anyway, the card in front of you there is up for grabs if you can answer this question. This will be very, very easy to look up, but I want you to look it up because there's a really great video out there called Game 162. In this one season, in the not so distant past, both wild card slots were up for grabs because they came down to the final day of the season and nothing was set in the wild card race because one team that was sure it was going, this happened in both the American and National League. One team was sure it was going to make the wild card because they were so far ahead at the end of August, like mid-August. They were so far ahead, there was no way this other team was going to catch them. And in both the American League and the National League, those two teams tanked. And two other teams went on a tear in both leagues, so that on the last day of the season, the two teams were tied. Okay? In both leagues, both teams were tied for the wild card spot. So if one team lost and the other team won, the team that won was going to go on to the playoffs. And in both leagues, the team that was way ahead back in the middle of August lost those games. And in both leagues, the team that had a miraculous comeback literally won that last game in game 162 and went into the playoffs, but in crazy dramatic fashion. So you're going to have to watch that video. It's called Game 162. And the teams didn't play each other. That's the funny thing about it. There was 4 games that were important. The team that was way ahead was playing one team, and the team that was making a comeback was playing another different team in both leagues. So around baseball, there were 4 games going on at the same time that had a dramatic impact on the playoffs. It was a crazy night in baseball, and it happened in the not so distant past. So I want you to tell me, in what year did that happen? And again, there's a very easily found video available on YouTube called Game 162 if you want to look it up. And I highly recommend you view the video because it's a lot of fun. So that's the prize if you can email me the correct answer, okay? So again, what I've been doing recently is going through trades. I did on the tradingcarddatabase.com, just showing them off. I'm struggling with this one because I'm looking for my scissors. I didn't open this one ahead of time. And it's got the blue tape all over it. I'm trying to get it open. There it goes. Okay. So, as with last week's video, this one is similar, or not last week. As with Wednesday's video, this one is similar. It is just another set of cards from this year's Topps Series 2 as I'm trying to complete my second set. But also had a Topps Diamond King, I'm sorry, not Topps, but a Panini Diamond King rookie in here that I need to complete that set. I'm trying to do the Topps Diamond Kings. I don't know if anybody out there can explain to me something. For the Panini Diamond King card, it's a 200 card set, 1 through 200. But cards 181 through 200 don't exist in the retail packs, I guess. So I don't know if anybody can explain to me why they did. I didn't do a deep look. I didn't struggle too hard to figure out why. I'm assuming it's because they're unique to hobby boxes or some other kind of packaging. But I got them listed on the tradingcarddatabase.com as cards that I want. Haven't had any luck getting them yet, but I'm hopeful. So anyway, if you can shed some light on that, I'd appreciate it. I appreciate everybody taking time to watch. Don't forget the trivia questions. Check them out if you can. Appreciate your support. Please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and all that jazz. I try to support everybody as much as you guys can support me. It's important, I think, to the card community to keep that fun support going. So, again, thanks for watching. I appreciate all of it. Hope to see you again soon. Check back on Sunday for the trivia recap. That's always a lot of fun. See who gets those great prizes. And I'll see you again next week, all right? Take care.